You may think that you have all the time in the world. Everyone says that. But in my opinion, you really don't. Most people waste their 20s just coasting around, hanging out with friends, drinking, college, if you attended that. But by the time that they realize it, it's probably already too late. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Genuinely. And this is something that I did when I was 16. I just started. Did I know what the hell I was doing? Absolutely not. I like to call this the silent lie of later. I don't know where I read that from. It's bars. But basically, most people, the way they operate is on this little timeline, right? And they push off things because it's easy to do. They don't really want to go out of their comfort zone. And that's fine to a degree. It's not like you have to always be uncomfortable. But some of these lines might even be coming out of your mouth. But basically, it's stuff like, I'll start after I graduate. I'll build it once I have more money. Money makes money. Everyone knows that. Or I'll chase my goals when I'm ready. I'm waiting for the perfect moment. But if I'm being honest, gang, life does not wait for you. These niches, these money vehicles, the money that's being printed that could be in your pockets, it doesn't come handed to you. Your energy, freedom, and attention, it slowly just declines over time. No different to a job, right? They tell you work hard when you're young so that you don't have to work as hard when you're old. The same thing applies to business. Why are we ignoring this? Later becomes never for most people. And as you get money, so you may not relate to it from the scope of someone that's actually made it. So for myself, I'm 23 years old. Holy stutter. And I'm a millionaire. You can get money back by just starting businesses, by doing anything really, but you can never get your time back. Which might be used as a really good way to convince people to just kind of live out their lives. And I'm not telling you you can. I'm just saying do it a little less. You don't got to do it all damn day. But when you're 23, you might only just have 50 years left. And I'm going to be honest, that's not a lot of time. But think about it like this. How many of those are kind of unattached? You know? How many of those years can you take a risk in? Not a lot. 18 to 30, that is your prime time to either stack, fail, or experiment. Sure, you can do it later on, but that's not the point. The point is you should do it now because this is the time when you have no responsibilities. You don't have a kid, you don't have a wife, you don't have anything, right? Most of us are still trying to make it out, trying to figure out what it is we want to do. So, kind of to put it into perspective, every day that you delay it, someone else just gets ahead of you. Someone else reaches that goal that you can only wish for. You may not see it. I'd be surprised though. There's a lot of gurus out there and stuff, but somehow if you don't see it, you got to start something, bro. And I know a lot of you guys may be starting, and so everything kind of starts small, horrible, ugly even. I think it's one of the most hideous things ever. There's this application I use called Miro, which is a whiteboard. If you saw my whiteboards, you would probably think I'm schizo, okay? The way I'd be obsessing over some of these business models or just growth in general. Everything is horrible at first. Think about YouTubers. Their first few videos, they get 3 views, right? Like my channel right now be getting 3 views if I'm lucky. But you see, that's the point. You gotta start there. That's where you start. Businesses that made $7 the first month, that is nothing. That's less than $3 a week. That's horrible. But that's where they gotta start. They had to go through that. And what I like to call it is the trial period, right? Because the way I like to see it is if you can't make a single dollar in a month, what makes you think you're worth earning like hundreds of thousands of dollars a year? Right? We never really talk about that part of it, but it's true for me too. Like, what am I worth? A mil? So far I have been. But am I worth 5? I don't know. And if I'm not, I gotta keep learning. I'm still a student. I'm still learning every single day. But one thing I can say is if you start now, you'll look back in 2 years and be like, thank God, bro. I wish I started sooner. And that's something I think about all the time, even though I did start young. I started at 16, but I got friends that started when they were 12. When they were 14. I got people higher than me at 16. That's crazy. But that's how it be. And I'm not gonna lie, like even if you zoomed out, it's not even all that much. 1 year, imagine you spend 1 year focus on that idea of yours. Focus on that life that you're trying to make. You go all in for just that 1 year. Your money, your mindset, your time, your lifestyle can entirely flip on its belly. You can build an income stream. You can change your body, which will give you long-term benefits in business as well. You can move out. You can learn a 6-figure skill. But none of that happens if you're just waiting until you're ready for it. Nobody's ready for it. I was never ready to do a YouTube channel. You think I was ready to start hiring editors, to start hiring people to edit my videos? Oh, hell no. I had a year stagnant period where I didn't even have an editor because I was too scared to message them. You know how crazy that is? You know how ridiculous that is? How would I ever scale? And then by the end of it, I had 4. I had 4 editors. I had script writers. I had the whole team set up. But yeah, the truth is, you will never be ready. That's the beauty of it. Genuinely, that is the beauty of it. Some people might see that as like, oh, that's so risky. The risk is you not starting. But yeah, I recommend that you start imperfect. Even me, with this channel, I'm starting imperfect. Do I know what I'm doing? Absolutely not, but I enjoy talking about stuff I go through. And it's just going to be really nice to look back at because these are things I've learned and I never want to forget these life lessons. Don't wait for confidence. Build it up yourself. Don't wait for a camera, a gym membership, or a website. Just do it. Post. Take a run. Launch what it is you have an idea for. Because the worst thing that could happen is you fail, but you learn skills. And with skills, you can stack them. It goes a very long way. Whether you're in corporate, whether you're not in corporate and you're just doing stuff by yourself, keep learning. Something will come out of it. And a really good example of this is my own YouTube journey. So for y'all that don't know me, the way I started really long time ago was when I was like 16, 17. I had a YouTube channel that I've been running since I was like 9, okay? I didn't treat it as a job. I made like $100 a month from it. So it was like huge money for me at that time. It was crazy. But yeah, it was nothing too crazy. And basically like all I had to do was just convince myself that I can actually make content that people want to watch. For the longest time, I was like, damn, nobody's going to watch my stuff. I'm not even good at the game. It was a gaming channel. I wasn't even good at the game. And like, why would they even watch me if they could watch these big established creators? Like, what was the point? I'm just going to do my little passion projects and stuff. But like, no, bro, if I just started sooner, I took that leap sooner, I would have been so much farther. I guarantee that. Everything good in life will come after you do a very uncomfortable first step. I don't think it gets realer than that. Like, that's all it takes. And I'm not gonna lie, the fact that you're here listening to this, it means that some of it, you do like to just learn about stuff, hear about other people's opinions, which is fine. It's not a bad thing. But the reason I'm calling you out on it is because you need to act more on what you listen to. You need to act more on what you're hearing. You know, like I tell this to all of my friends. I'm just like, did you do what you were trying to do today? You know, like, are you getting closer to that overarching goal of yours? And some of them, like, especially with YouTube, I know I keep relating it back to this, but this was my first vehicle. Everyone was just like, oh, you know, like, I'm trying to get a channel banner. I'm trying to think of a name that's catchy. I don't really know how to edit, and I really don't like it, so I'm kind of pushing it off. Gang, just start. Post a dang video. That's all it takes. Genuinely, perfection is an op, okay? If you're a perfectionist, this might not be for you, bro. I ain't gonna lie. This is not a place to get creative with certain things. There's certain aspects that you can get creative with it, but usually they're just hired out. You don't have as much time as you think. That's just the truth. Don't feel discouraged. And still go at it. Every day you delay it, though, is borrowed time from a life that you could have been living so much sooner. So do it now. Stop waiting. Just start. Use this as your starting. Okay. But yeah. Honestly, if you guys enjoyed this, any shape or form, and got value from this, feel free to subscribe. I might make a Discord soon. I don't know if I have already. It might be in the description. But hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.